People. I hope you're all fine. I hope everybody had a lovely weekend. I used to hate Mondays. I don't anymore. I think Mondays are great because they are the one day that you hopefully have a clean slate and you can start things new. I look at Mondays like New Year's Day. A new day to start something new. Anyway, so here we go. I have a few things that happened this weekend. So I'm just going to do a few videos this week and then just get them out as they come. So the first one that I want to talk about is this issue of inviting somebody. Now, a friend sent me a message over the weekend. She's not really a friend. I wouldn't really say she's a friend. I would say she's more somebody who we used to be close, but over the years we've kind of drifted apart. Which I've learned by with growing up that it's not really a bad thing. Some people are just there for a while, and then they life goes on, right? So this particular person, we kind of drifted apart because we just started looking at the world differently. And yeah, I felt like she was not adding anything to my life, and she felt like I was arrogant. So yeah, things just drifted apart. But we stay cordial. We send each other happy new year messages. We say happy birthday on Facebook. I comment positively on her photos. She comments positively on mine. We comment. Yeah, but we are not one-on-one type, right? So around last year, a mutual friend of ours informed me that this person was going through. Unfortunately, her marriage did not survive COVID. So she was going through a separation, and I mean, I reached out to her. I told her, okay, I'm so sorry to have heard that you're going through a separation. So I wish you, yeah, I wish you well and stuff like that. And then she was okay with me, and she told me, oh, yeah, she told me, yeah, about uh, why they were going through separation and stuff like that. And I felt kind of sad because honestly, they were such a good couple. I look at some of my friends who have been divorced, and I'm like, wow, how did this even happen? And it was so sad because she told me that one thing that she wished was that her friends would have actually been nice and honest with her about what was going on in other people's lives. So what she told me was actually that one of her people who used to be her very close friends invited her husband for to the US to visit. And the husband got the visa, went to the US to visit, and while he was at the US, he met somebody else, and they started an affair. And the girl got pregnant, and then the guy went back to Kenya after the visit was over. When the woman gave birth, the man went back to visit the child, and then stayed a bit with the woman, and decided that he kind of liked their life in the US. And yeah, so when he moved back to Kenya, that's when everything got shut down. There were no flights, there was nothing, there was no way for him to go back to the US. So he stayed in Kenya, and I think during that time he started noticing the cracks in his marriage to this lady. And I was like, are you sure he noticed the cracks in the marriage, or was he just looking for a reason to allow himself to go there? Because he must have noticed the cracks in the marriage for him to have started having the affair. But then what do I know? I don't even understand how men's brains work. Anyway, so the woman decides that what's going to happen is they are going to separate. So she gathered her no, this was, by the way, when all this was happening, she didn't even know that there was a second family in the US, right? So when she gathered her children, she moved out and she told her her friend that now she's looking for a different job. She just wants to change everything. She basically just needed a fresh start, right? So she reaches out to me and asks me if I can write her. And now this was what happened over the weekend. She sends me a message and tells me, so can you write me an invitation to come to Switzerland with my kids over the summer? And I was like, okay, so what exactly do you want to come and do? And she's like, ah, no, I was just thinking I will come and just, disappear. And my head was like, wow, I can't do that. I can't invite you when I know that you're not intending on coming back because number one, there are people that I would like to invite eventually, and I will not be allowed to invite anybody if you don't go back. So I mean, I remember when I invited people, the few times that I've invited people, when their visas expire, I kind of, yeah, receive. Basically, it's a small country. The police don't really have much to do. If they want to find you, they will find you. So I was like, and how exactly do you expect your children to survive in that kind of an environment? I mean, for me, I just felt like her life was not that bad in Kenya. Why is she risking that? So I told her, okay, why don't you look for a way of moving legally? Like find a way to actually immigrate legally. Either that or you leave your kids and then I don't know, but to me I felt like I was giving her the options because I wouldn't want somebody unless they absolutely have to separate from their kids. I just think it's sad when you have to do that. So, and I felt like she was not in her right mind. I felt like she was doing this, when you first break up with a guy and you feel like he is getting the best thing and you are the one who's been wronged, and you feel like the guy is the one who's ending up with the good life and your life is going to be bad. So you're trying to figure out how to make sure that you don't come out the loser in the situation. And that is what she was doing. She felt like, okay, this guy now, he's moving to the States, he's going to have family there, he's going to, basically he's made for, right? But she was feeling like she has nothing. She's been left now with these kids and she felt like she has nothing. And I was like, no, you don't have nothing. You have your job, you have your kids, you have, you're happy, And of course, right now it hurts, but it was going to not hurt. Now, I don't know why, but she chose to take this really wrong, and she decided to tell somebody else that I was such a horrible person that I refused to invite her and I don't like helping people. My take is I am not going to destroy my life for somebody. That's just it. Because, some of these things, countries are different. The amount of effort that the US government puts in following up um, people who you invite is different. Unless somebody goes there and commits a crime, they don't even dig into who invited you where. Here, my dear, they will dig into it. Anything you do, everything comes up. They just, I think it's such a small country with such few people that they do have the resources and ability and the willpower to just do such things like look for who invited who and who went back and who did not go back and stuff like that. So I can't, in good faith, invite you when I know that your plan is to come and disappear here. That's number one. Number two, I know how hard life is in Switzerland for somebody without papers. Now, when you find yourself here and then something happens to your papers and then you don't have papers anymore, at least you will have already created, hopefully, a network or something. You will already have something for you to be able to start life. But it's not the same as somebody who comes with kids to start from zero and you have nothing. To me, I think it's just not, it's different anyway. So that's part of, so that's the other thing that, yeah, it's a bit hard, but well, you know, happens like that. So she took it really badly, and I feel so bad that she took it like that. And I know that there are quite a lot of my friends who have told me that they have had relatives back home who feel like you just don't want to hurt somebody. It's very hard. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's impossible. Sometimes we just can't. We don't create rules. We sometimes bend rules, but we don't create rules. And would you like your relative to get in trouble? Well, some people don't care, but it doesn't make sense for one person to get in trouble so that you help somebody else in the family or somebody else in the friendship group. And it does make a difference having a clean record and stuff like that. And hopefully at some point she's going to get through the other end of the heart and we will be able to talk about this, and I just hope that it works out. But anyway, this video was just to say that sometimes when someone doesn't help you, there's a reason why they're not helping. Either it is not convenient for them, or it is they just can't because legally they feel like this is something that would put them in trouble. And or the countries are not the same. Some countries are just so complicated that it is not something that you would want to start putting somebody in trouble for. So I hope that this blesses your week and have a lovely week.